Alright, we start out with our thread and lay a base all the way down to the bend of the hook. And then I'm going to tie in my tail, which is going to consist of some crystal flash, and 7 to 10 strands of that. I usually tie it in and then wrap up the body. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut about half the body length for the tail. So now the first thing we're going to do is dress the whole body with the dubbing. So that's where this Chernobyl will actually differ from the standard typical one you see. And in this one I'm going to use some rusty bronze Senyo laser dubbing. And you usually just want to match that dubbing to the color of whatever it is that you're trying to imitate, if you're trying to imitate something specific. Otherwise, orange, some bright colors will work nicely. Okay, there's our body. Now we're going to take our foam. In this case, I've just actually cut a piece of salmon fly body foam using my foam cutters, but you can use just Chernobyl foam, or you can just cut foam strips out of any foam that you want to. So I want this positioned at just about the hook point, and so that's kind of how I want this foam to be situated. And so the first tie-in point right there, I'm going to tie that down. Like so. And then I'm going to grab my legs, which in this case consist of some pink Legs Alive from Fly Tier's Dungeon, and a couple of wraps on top, and then I'm going to pull each of those down to the side. Like that. And trim those to length. I want them about the length of that, the tail, to where the tail is right here, like that. Okay, and then the other thing is I'm going to grab this white poly yarn and tie in the wing portion for the back, and I want this to be about the length of that back section, and so I'll tie that in and trim that a little bit. Now what I like to do is to get this again to float really well and to be very visible, is I'm going to double this over. So I pull that back, and then I'm also clip this piece. Okay, like so. And then as a final little thing here, we're going to take some of that same dubbing and just dub over that junction point to give it a little bit more bulk, being mindful of your legs. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to come up underneath and work my way to just before the head here, and tie in that next segment. One of the reasons I like to use these stonefly cutters is because that actual segment there is a nice point to tie in your next segment here. And we'll do the same thing with the legs. We've got the legs there, and do the same thing here with the wing. And in this case, what I want to do is I want that wing to come back to be about even with the the rear section of wing. And again, I'm going to pull that back. And then I'm going to pull some of the dubbing. And that dubbing will help to keep that second piece of yarn in there. And trim that. Like so. And then I'm just going to work to the front here, and if I need to, just got a little bit more space here I can fill in with some dubbing. And whip finish. And there's the Chubby Chernobyl.